If you consider that her mother, Penny, was called Secretariat's mom, then I'm pleased to introduce Secretariat's sister, Kate Chenery Tweedy.
140 years ago, a horse-crazy boy was born on Grace Street in Richmond, Virginia. This boy began to dream of having a pony. His mother moved the family to Ashland so her 5 children could go to college, and to his great joy, he got a chance to learn to ride horses at the Meadow, which was a former plantation owned by his great aunt. Soon he was dreaming of owning the Meadow himself and of raising horses there. When his cousin, Bernard Doswell, of Doswell fame, hired him to come to his farm to exercise his thoroughbreds, Chris decided he would walk the 7 miles to Doswell and back, as he had no other way to get there. From Bernard Doswell, he heard tales about the glories of winning races in New York and Kentucky. Once more, his dream expanded, this time to having his own racehorses and winning his own big stakes. For a poor boy in Ashland, this dream seemed very far away. But he was an ambitious lad, and he figured he would make it happen one way or another. He just needed money. He went to Randolph-Macon College and then transferred to Washington and Lee to complete an engineering degree. Soon his horizons expanded again when he went to survey railroads in the newly opened Yukon Territory, which would later, of course, become Alaska. Back in Virginia, he enlisted in World War I and was such an excellent rider that he was teaching equitation to the cavalry at Fort Lee. After the war, he realized that opportunities for getting rich were still slim in Virginia, which hadn't fully recovered from the Civil War. So he took his wife and children to New York, this time dreaming of making it big on Wall Street. This he did, and within 10 years, he had made $1 million, which was more money then than it is now, by buying up small utilities and forming them into a conglomerate. By 1934, he had his own horses and his own riding stable in Westchester County, New York. He had learned to play polo and he was hunting to hounds, but he still dreamed of horse racing. Then he had a heart attack. The doctors said he needed to slow down, and polo and hunting were out. But this only spurred him to revive his original dream. So 90 years ago, in 1936, Christopher Chenery went back to Virginia and bought back the Meadow, which had been lost to the bank decades before. There he began to design and build horse barns, a racetrack, and a foaling shed. He bought his first stallions and mares, and you might say he was off to the races. He had his first national champion in 1950 and went on to success after success, his vision nearly complete. But now he had one more dream: winning the Kentucky Derby. This was the pinnacle of racing in his mind. He never dreamed of winning the Triple Crown. That seemed impossible. Fast forward to 1972, when Riva Ridge, a slender bay homebred who ran like a deer, gave Chris Chenery the prize he had always hoped for, the blanket of roses and the title of Derby champion. 5 weeks later, Riva went on to win the Belmont Stakes. Chris's great ambition seemed complete. But waiting in the stall next to Riva Ridge was a striking, big, powerful chestnut, only 2 years old, who was about to show the world the true meaning of champion. Secretariat won his first race 6 weeks after Riva's Belmont, and from then no one could take their eyes off him. Poor Riva became a has-been. Secretariat went on to so dominate his fellow 2-year-old that he stole the Horse of the Year title from Riva. Then came 1973, and the strapping chestnut stunned the world by winning the Derby, Preakness, and Belmont, demonstrating such unbelievable speed and power that we are still wowed by him even now, 53 years later. That's why today we are still gathering to honor him with magnificent monuments and community festivals. His records have never been broken, and I dare say never will. Thank you for all coming out and braving the cold to remember our great champion, to recount his racing triumphs and to celebrate with each other our own hometown hero, the unsurpassable Big Red Chestnut from the Meadow. My grandfather, Chris Chenery, would be beyond proud to know that his hometown still loved and honored him, the horse who became the perfect fulfillment of all his dreams. Today, 90 years later, we salute you too, Chris Chenery. Thank you for all you have given us. Celebrate and enjoy. Thank you.